Match day 24 kicks off really soon with a very interesting game between Nottingham Forest and Brighton and Hove Albion today at the City Ground. A very interesting game to be marshaled by the referee Simon Hooper. We expect this game to be an interesting one that would long for one that would be end to end, if you ask me, because these two teams actually have very good players who can turn up at any time. These two teams are in the top 10 for Brighton and Hove Albion. They are currently ninth, while Nottingham Forest are actually doing much more than a lot of persons we would have thought that they would, as they are currently third on the table. Some quick facts from the game to go down today. Nottingham Forest are actually winless in their last 3 Premier League games against Brighton and Hove Albion. They've lost twice and drawn just once. And for Brighton, they've won this exact fixture by 3 goals to 2. I mean, the last time these two teams met at the City Ground, they won by 3 goals to 2, and then they'll be hoping to repeat such a feat because they really need to win if they intend to move further on the table to get as close as possible to the Europa League spot, which I feel should be the ideal location, ideal position for a team like Brighton and Hove Albion. Now let's talk about these two teams' unbeaten runs before the game they were playing today. Remember, for Nottingham Forest, they were actually on a very fine run of form. They were on an 8-game unbeaten run before they were walloped by Bournemouth last weekend. I mean, they lost by 5 goals. That was a very bad game for Nuno Espirito Santos and his men. So I feel they would want to turn up this time against Brighton and Hove Albion to stop them, from that sink, because it felt like a sink. They looked like a team that was difficult to defeat. They've conceded the least number of goals up till that time, and then suddenly they conceded 5 goals. So we expect them to be tighter at the back, and if possible, with Chris Wood, who has been prolific so far this season, to turn up to score as much as they can. For Brighton and Hove Albion also, they were on a 6-game unbeaten run before the game against Everton last week, where they lost at home. In fact, that was a bad one for Fabian Hessler, the coach of Brighton and Hove Albion. So expect the game to really be interesting. For team news, we have it that for Brighton and Hove Albion, they've made 3 changes. We have Minte, who replaced Gruda, as well as they brought in Jorginho Ruta. And interestingly, they do not have Carlos Paleba and Yacine Ayari in the game to be played not too long from now. So expect it to be interesting with these few changes they've made so far. Jack Hesselwood would also be starting for the